Hello and welcome. This is Kathleen Levito, Marketing Coordinator with AAFMAA, the American Armed Forces Mutual Aid Association. Thank you for attending today's webinar entitled The Blue Water Navy Vietnam Veterans Act. This monthly webinar is brought to you by AAFMAA Mortgage Services, LLC, which provides mortgages exclusively to the military community. Whether you are looking to build, buy, or refinance a home, we can help you. This educational webinar seeks to provide AAFMAA members and prospective members with information about qualifying for a mortgage. With us today is Raynelle Hamblin, a senior underwriter with AAFMAA Mortgage Services, LLC, also known as AMS. Raynelle has over 30 years of experience working with the VA and is very knowledgeable about their policies. Raynelle is also a military spouse of an Army veteran. Raynelle will be sharing a presentation on your screen, and then at the end, we'll be able to answer a few of your questions. If you have a question during the presentation, please feel free to type your question into the comment box on your screen, and we can log those so we can answer them as we go along. I will now turn it over to Raynelle to begin the presentation.
Thank you, Kathleen. I'd like to welcome each of you today and thank you for your service to keeping our great country safe. Today we are going to share with you recent changes affecting the VA loan program. These changes are part of the new law, the Blue Water Navy Vietnam Veterans Act. Our agenda today is we're going to explain what is the Blue Water Navy Vietnam Act. We're going to go over recent VA loan limit changes, VA funding fee changes, Purple Heart recipients, and how they are now eligible for the waiver of the VA funding fee. And we will be going over the changes to VA appraisal. And then at the end, we will give you an opportunity, as Kathleen mentioned, for any questions that we might be able to answer for you. What is the Blue Water Vietnam Act? Also known as House Resolution 299, was signed on June 25, 2019. This act extends disability coverage from the VA, U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, to Blue Water Navy veterans, those who served on ships off the coast of Vietnam from 1962 through 1975. These veterans often have medical conditions associated with Agent Orange exposure. Some aspects of the bill are specifically aimed at Vietnam War veterans, while other aspects are for all veterans. Again, I'd like to mention the key changes as a result of this act are VA loan limit, the VA funding fee, waiver of fees for Purple Heart recipients, and VA appraisal. So let's first discuss how this act has affected our VA loan limit. The new bill amends existing VA program guidelines with changes designed to expand maximum guarantee amounts for purchase, construction, and cash-out refinance loans greater than the Freddie Mac conforming loan limit. We have provided a link for you. Please visit that link to obtain additional information about VA loan limit. What is a VA guaranteed loan? VA guaranteed loans are made by private lenders such as banks, savings and loan associations, or mortgage companies. To get a loan, the veteran applies to the lender. If the loan is approved, VA guarantees the loan when it is closed. The guarantee means the lender is protected against loss if the veteran or another veteran who may assume the loan at some time in the future fails to repay the loan. What is the maximum VA loan? There is no maximum VA loan except that the loan cannot exceed the lesser of the appraised value or purchase price plus VA funding fee and energy-efficient improvements if applicable. We'll now discuss the maximum entitlement available. Veterans with full entitlement, the maximum amount of guarantee entitlement available to the veteran shall be 25% of the loan amount. For veterans who have previously used entitlement, the maximum amount of guarantee entitlement available to the veteran shall be 25% of the Freddie Mac conforming loan limit, reduced by the amount of entitlement previously used and not restored. So we have a couple of examples to present to you today. Example one is a veteran who has full entitlement. The veteran has full entitlement available and is purchasing a home for $1,200,000. The Freddie Mac conforming loan limit, often referred to as the CLL, is $726,525. The maximum amount of entitlement available to the veteran is going to be $300,000. Because he has full entitlement, we can base that 25% on the actual purchase price of $1,200,000. In our example 2, we're looking at a veteran with partial entitlement. So the entitlement previously used and not restored is $70,000. The loan amount is $765,000, and the Freddie Mac conforming loan limit is $724,000. So in this example, the maximum amount of entitlement available to the veteran is going to be $111,000. And how that is calculated is, since he has partial entitlement and the previous entitlement that has been used is not restorable, we will do 25% of the Freddie Mac conforming loan limit of $724,000. That's going to bring us to $181,000. And then we subtract out the entitlement previously used and not restored, which is $70,000. So the entitlement available is $111,000. Next, we'll discuss the VA funding fee. Under the new law, the VA loan funding fee for an active duty first-time borrower has increased to 2.30%, with the subsequent use fee set at 3.60%. VA funding fee also has additional subsequent changes that will occur for loans closed on or after January 1, 2020, and before October 1, 2029, and again for loans closed on or after October 1, 2029. Each change results in an across-the-board percentage decrease for the regular military as well as the reserves and National Guard. The chart we're viewing now is reflecting the first change in the funding fee, which were for loans that closed on or after January 1st, 2020, and before January 1st, 2022. This is where the funding fee rate actually increased for purchases and construction loans with or without down payment. Also for cash out refis, the loan assumptions and the interest rate reduction refinance loans remain the same at 0.50%. Waiver of fees. The Purple Heart recipients have now an opportunity to have the VA funding fee waived. The Act amends 38 U.S.C. 3729C1 by adding a waiver of the VA funding fee for members of the armed forces who are serving on active duty and provide on or before the date of loan closing evidence of having been awarded the Purple Heart. So key word here is for a recipient of a Purple Heart, they must still be serving on active duty in order to have the funding fee waived. The following documents are acceptable evidence of the Purple Heart award. That would be the Purple Heart certificate itself. The DD-214 would reflect that the borrower is a Purple Heart recipient, and we can also use the military orders awarding the Purple Heart. Next, we'll discuss how the Act has affected our VA appraisals. The Assisted Appraisal Processing Program, referred to as AAP. The Act also amends 38 U.S.C. 3731 by enabling the Secretary to authorize VA fee panel appraisers to use information gathered by their apprentices, trainees, or another subordinate appraiser to complete an appraisal report. This program may only be used for appraisals that are non-complex, below $1 million, and are not new construction. And when we refer to non-complex per USPAP, USPAP is the organization that presides over the appraisal system. Non-complex property would be like an earth property or something that's not what we commonly refer to as a conforming property. We have completed our presentation today, and now we'd like to open up for any questions that you might have, and we'll try to answer those to the best of our ability.
Thank you, Raynelle. I'm seeing some questions come in, so let's answer a few now. All right, the first one I have here is, I'm a veteran looking to use my VA home loan benefits. Does the removal of the VA loan limit mean I automatically qualify for a higher priced house?
No, you still must qualify credit and income-wise.
Okay, great. Let's take a look at this one. I was awarded a Purple Heart, but I ETS before my closing date. Can I still get my funding fee waived?
Unfortunately not. You would have to still be on active duty in order to receive that funding fee waiver.
Okay. And let's address one more. Do these changes only affect those service members who have health conditions caused by Agent Orange during the Vietnam War?
No, these conditions are across the board for all active duty and veterans of the military.
Great. All right, so we only had time to answer a few questions today, but if you have more questions that you've submitted during the presentation, or if you think of something else later, please take note of Raynelle's contact information here. You can jot down that information and reach out to her directly. Also, if you did submit a question during the presentation, we have all of those logged, and we'll be getting back to you within a day with answers for you specifically. Thank you so much for joining us today. We're just going to leave you with some standard disclosures and remind you that you can always review this webinar and sign up for new and additional webinars at AAFMAA.com/webinars. We have webinars that broadcast every 2 weeks, and we also have a log of old webinars you can revisit at any time. Again, that's AAFMAA.com/webinars. All right, thank you so much for joining us today. We hope you have a great day.